up guys, it's Traizel, and today I'm going to show you guys how to configure your new Minecraft server. And if you haven't seen any of my videos on how to make a free Minecraft server, whether it's Java or Bedrock, go ahead and go to one of those videos and make a Minecraft server for free. I'll have a link in the description, and I'll actually have a couple pop-ups here so you can watch one of them if you want to make a Bedrock server or a Java server for free. But other than that, the only other thing you're gonna need is an app called Notepad++. I'll have another link in the description for that. You just download the most recent version. You kind of just follow the steps for that. Download that right there. And after that, you kind of just, right there, the .exe file, save that. And yes, I already have this downloaded, so it'll kind of be weird for me, but you can see right here, you have this setup thing. Just follow the instructions for that and you're good. And this is what you're gonna use to kind of edit the files in your server and configure everything. That's the only other thing you're gonna need. Now, after you can set up a server, whether it's a Bedrock server right here or a new server, which is my Java server, I'm gonna do both of them in different parts. I'm gonna have different cuts in the video where you can see where I'm configuring the Java server. If you want a Bedrock server tutorial, skip to that part. Otherwise, I'm gonna start with the Java server. And yeah, let's get started. So obviously you're gonna, open up the Java server. And the main things you're going to want to look at is the whitelist.json, server.properties, the banned IPs, the banned players, ops.json, and up here there's a couple other things we can look at in the future. We're going to focus on those ones right now. The first one is the server.properties, which we're going to right click, open with Notepad++. And you can see right here there's a lot of options. We're going to go through them all. So most of these you probably don't need to worry about unless you want to get like really specific with your server. Game mode, that's your game mode. You can do survival, creative, or adventure. I am going to keep it at survival. Enable command blocks if you want to have command blocks on your server. Now usually with Minecraft servers, especially with Java, you don't really need command blocks, meaning that there's a bunch of plugins available to you. In fact, TraizelCraft, which is my server, which by the way, if you have never played TraizelCraft, you can join TraizelCraft.net. I have a Discord where you can join. It's the same one that you can use for the support, for my add-ons, and anything that you have questions for. It's basically an RPG mixed with survival and some other things. It's been running for about 4 or 5 years now as a realm and other stages, and now it's a Java server. I've also been building it for about 10 years now. But the main thing is that I don't have a single command block on there. It's all run by plugins and everything. Not a single command block is placed. So if you know what you're doing, you should not need to enable this, and it should just be stated false unless you want to have command blocks. This is the main world that you're going to be using, and if you don't have any plugins, it's going to be the only world. So you can see it says world. This is the world right here. If you wanted to change it, you would just change it. So if I, for example, were to import another world that I have, a Java world, I put it in here, and then I could change the world that you're loading into right here. And I'll do that in just a minute here when I get to that part. This is the message of the day, which I'm just going to say TraizelCraft. You can change this to whatever you want. Basically, it's going to display the players when they do /motd, or you can have it set so it says that whenever they join the world for the first time or every time. PvP, you can set it on or off. Difficulty can be set to easy, normal, hard. Require resource pack. If you have any resource packs on your server, this can require people, if you set it to true, they will have to download your resource pack in order to join. Max players, you can set your max players here. So if you want to have more than 20, if you want to have 50 players to be able to join, you can do that. I'm just going to keep it at 20 for now. Online mode, you're probably going to want to keep that true unless you're going to set up a proxy like Bungee Cord or something. View distance, I would say keep it no bigger than 10 unless you have a really beefy computer. Maybe go down to like 8 or 6. I'm going to go down to 8. Server IP, you actually don't need to change it because you are on your own computer. If you do set up in the future, set up a domain or something, you might need to set this. Allow nether. Do you want people to be able to join the nether? If you set this to false, people can't use portals pretty much. Like if they go into a nether portal, nothing will happen if they set this to false. Forced game mode pretty much says whenever somebody joins the world, they will be forced to join in whatever game mode you set, which I have survival. So whenever somebody joins the world, they will be set to survival no matter what. Hardcore, if you wanted hardcore, right here, this is where you set it to true, and that would be a hardcore world. And then this is the whitelist, which we'll talk about in a bit, but basically the whitelist, if you have it set to true, only people that are in the whitelist.json can join. If you're not in the whitelist.json, you will be kicked and you won't be able to join. It's a neat way to only like allow admins at certain times, like if you're doing maintenance or something, to prevent certain people from joining. Or if you wanted like a whitelisted SMP or something, you can prevent random people from joining, only have it be like invite only kind of thing. Spawn animals if you want animals to spawn or not. Then with monsters, and then spawn protection. And what you can do is whatever the spawn point is of the world, this is how big the area of protection is around that. If you don't want any protection, you can do 0, like if it was going to be like a normal survival world. And then after that, you can just press save up top in the left corner there, and you can minimize that. Now that's the server.properties. Now the next ones are pretty simple. You can open the next one. Whitelist.json is simply just a bracket. It's going to be a list of players. So let's like add my name, and then you can do a comma for other people's names. So you can do someone else and other people, and only these people can join the world if I had a whitelist on. And if I were to go into the whitelist in the server.properties, turn it on. Other than that, there's the ops, which is the same exact thing as the whitelist. So I'm just going to list myself. Whoever is in this list are opt, people that can do commands, do anything. Now after you get all of that configured, next couple things you'd want to do is maybe import your world. I'm going to go to a file where I have some Java worlds of mine. I'm just going to copy one over. Okay, so now that imported, I'm actually going to rename it to just TraizelCraft, and then I'm going to delete world because I don't want that. I'm going to go into the server.properties, edit with Notepad++. I'm going to change the world. I can find it, the level dash name. I'm going to change it to TraizelCraft. So whenever people join, they're going to join the TraizelCraft world. Now that is pretty much it for the basic configurations. The one last thing you could do, I'm going to talk about this later, but you can make a new folder and just call it plugins. Now in the video after this, I'm going to go over plugins and like essential plugins, but this is where you'd store inside this plugins folder. Now right now I don't have any plugins installed, so there's not going to be anything going on besides just the world itself. Now if we want to test this out, okay, so I loaded up Minecraft. I'm going to go to multiplayer, and you can see that I already have the server loaded up here. I'm going to join it, and I hopefully should be joining TraizelCraft here. Let's see, actually you can see there's stuff in my inventory. I am currently on the server, and I'm on the world that I imported, which is an older version of TraizelCraft. So that's how you configure the Java server. Now the Bedrock server I'm going to go over just right now, and that's not nearly as complicated. So obviously we have the server.properties, same exact thing, and we're going to go over everything else here. So I'm going to open this with Notepad++. So when you open it up, the first thing you're going to see is server name. You can change that to whatever you want, whatever you want the name of the server to be, which will show up when people load up the server before they join. Game mode, you can change this to, survival, creative, or adventure, which will be the default game mode when people join. And you can force it too if you want, which means whenever people join again, if their game mode was changed or whatever, whenever they join, they'll be always set to this game mode. I'm just gonna keep that to false. Difficulty, you can change it peaceful, easy, normal, hard, just like normal. Allow cheats, I'm actually gonna set this to true. You can have it false if you want to be like a vanilla SMP or something. Obviously this is the max players, which you can set this whatever you want. I'm gonna set it to 20 instead of 10 just to show you. And then now a maximum of 20 players can join. Online mode, probably want to keep that true. There's not really any reason you wouldn't want to keep it true. Whitelist, if you set that to true, only people that are in the whitelist.json will be able to join. I'll show you that in a second. View distance, you can reduce that or increase it. I wouldn't recommend reducing it, I wouldn't recommend increasing it, but if you wanted to reduce it, you could, which can reduce lag. Everything else is kind of nothing you need to worry about except for the level name. Whatever this level name is the world that people are going to be joining in the worlds folder. So you can see Bedrock level. If I changed this, it would have to match something that's in here. Now you can import your own worlds in here, or not in here, in the worlds folder, and then whatever it's called, you can match it to whatever this is, which I'll do right now. I'm honestly just gonna pick a random one. I don't even know what this one is. Just copying it over. I'm gonna rename it. I'm gonna rename it to Cool World. I'm actually gonna delete Bedrock World. What I can do is I can rename this to Cool World. And now whenever the server loads up, people will join this world instead of the other one. Everything else you don't need to worry about. It's kind of like default stuff. You can mess with it if you really know what you're doing. But if you don't know what you're doing, just don't worry about it. It's not gonna affect anything, and it could mess something up if you do touch it. After you got that configured and you kind of set your world, imported whatever world you want to be on the server, modify your whitelist.json if you want to have whitelist.json. Basically, you can just add whoever you want, gamer tags, and then a comma, different gamer tag, comma, and then whatever you, etc., etc. And if the whitelist is on, set to true in the server.properties. Only people that are listed in here can join. Worlds we already went over. The only other two ones you're probably ever going to mess with is the resource packs and the behavior packs. Obviously here are the ones where you import your resource packs and behavior packs, which I'll do that quick just to show you. I'm going to go into my main Minecraft resource packs folder. which by the way, if you don't know how to get to that, I have right here, it's com.mojang. I will actually just make things simple. Paste this path in the description, and the only thing that's going to change is going to be the user, because the user is based off of your computer. And then other than that, the path will be the exact same, and it'll take you to here, and then you can like go to resource packs and then take whatever those resource packs you want, copy it onto here, and that is it. So once you get the world imported and you add any resource packs you want, you configure these. That is it, and all you need to do is just start the server up again. Okay, so sign me in. I'm gonna go to servers, and I already set this up like last time. If you don't want to set this up, just watch the other video. At the very end, I show you guys how to configure the server. I'm going to join the server. You can see that it's online, and there you go. It's asking me to download the resource packs, and you can require this if you want. I believe it's a setting in the server.properties, but I can either download and join, or I can just join. I'm actually going to download and join the resource packs. Okay, so it's loaded in, and that is pretty much it for setting up the Bedrock server. And in a future video, I'm going to go over plugins on a Java server, and setting up resource packs and texture packs and behavior packs on a Bedrock server. But other than that, that is pretty much it. So if you guys did enjoy the video, please subscribe if you are new, and like the video if you did enjoy it. But as always, peace out, everybody.